What if Donald Duck sang Rage at the beginning? Okay, how about
Oh God.
how about Goofy? You, I will do what you tell me. How about Yogi Bear? Hey, boo boo, you, I won't do what you tell me. Welcome back to the Simpleton Review. We are here in your YouTube place, and we're hoping you watch us more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds today. Can we push it up to 3 minutes? 3 minutes. I'm just asking for 3 minutes. Can I get that average up? I will give you my undying love and devotion if you do that for me, please. I'm a Simpleton guy. I'm Nate. And who are the rest of you people?
I'm Charlie Simpleton.
I'm Lemuel Simpleton.
And I'm just a simpleton.
Well, hello, folks. Thank you for joining me. It's kind of weird that we all met at the same place and we're going to talk about the same thing. So thank you so much for joining me, because it'd be really lonely and boring and nobody wants to watch a video if I'm the only one around. I can tell that because I created a podcast recently talking about Idaho politics and I only have like 2 people that listen to it, which is really weird because of all the people that harass me on Twitter actually listen to that podcast, man, I'd be monetized in like 30 minutes. But anyway, let's go into the topic of the day. Mr. I don't know if he's a sir or not, but he's definitely Peter Gabriel. Is back for the first time in 21 years with a brand new album called I.O. That's what it's called, I.O. He is, it's his 10th studio album. He is, in my mind, probably one of the most amazing musicians around. Has been for quite a while. Just fantastic. His 1985-86 album called So is one of the best, in my humble opinion, one of the best albums of all time. It is simply amazing. He got his start as the original lead singer of a small little band called Genesis before this other guy joined the band named Phil Collins. So that's where Peter Gabriel come from. He was kind of an alternative icon back in the 80s and 90s. Actually used to host a show on MTV called 120 Minutes, was Alternativeville Geekhood. That's where I was at, of course. Video show like on, I don't know, it was like Friday nights or Saturday nights or something. It was like after Headbangers Ball, because that's how important it was. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning when it came on. But I watched it all the time because that was the kind of music I was into. And Peter Gabriel, I don't know what else to talk about Peter Gabriel. He's just an amazing musician. He decided he was going to do this. This album has actually been in the works for, what does it say? I saw it somewhere, like 1995 is when he initially started working on this album. About the same time he started recording his album Up. He began planning the follow-up to Up as early as 2000. He didn't really get this going and finally published until just recently in the past, I think it's about 6 months that this album's been out now. It's a double album. There's one side of the album is called the light side, and the other side of the album is called the dark side mix. So let's go ahead and go around the table here and figure out what you guys thought of, which I'm very interested to figure out what you guys think, because I know there's at least 2 people here that have probably never heard of Peter Gabriel and maybe have never heard any of his music, or at least they don't think they have, which they probably have heard 1 or 2 songs, they just don't know it. Let's go with Lemuel. Start with you.
I thought it was cool. I'm glad you gave me a little bit of history on that, because when I was listening to it, I was just like, this does kind of sound like a Phil Collins kind of vibe the whole time. So the fact that you provided that history actually explains a little bit, I think.
I have a feeling Peter Gabriel would be insulted if you said that to his face. Him and Phil Collins do not get along.
I was going to say the same
sorry.
exact thing, though.
I'm going to wrong here. Yeah, I really liked I.O. on both sides of the album. I liked Road to Joy, I think more on Dark Side than I liked it on Bright Side, but it was a good album. It was a long listen. It's like 2 hours or something. So
Yeah,
that was a little
it is.
brutal. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Trista, go ahead. Jump in there.
I actually thought this one was really interesting. I definitely didn't know a single thing about it. I feel like I have heard him somewhere, but I can't place it. I even tried listening to his other albums to see. Didn't recognize any of it. I thought it was really cool. I do agree. He does sound a lot like Phil Collins. I also kind of thought about David Bowie for some reason. There was a couple songs that reminded me of some of David Bowie's albums, and then his music style also reminisced Roseanne Murphy. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but she's another slightly older artist that does very similar music with the kind of techno-y vibes to it. I definitely don't understand like the double album thing. I've never personally seen that before, but it is interesting. I really liked the songs like Four Kinds of Horses and The Court. Those ones are kind of my favorites. I didn't, again, understand the double album thing because I didn't exactly notice a big difference between the two, and I didn't know if there was supposed to be or not. And that might have just been I just didn't notice it while I was listening to it the first time or what, but I couldn't pick up on any difference or if there's supposed to be a difference. Can you clarify that at all?
I actually don't know too much about why he decided to do what he did. Reading up on it a little bit, I think it's really hard to tell how much difference there is, but the basis of the differences will generally tend to be in the mixing and the producing. Like what instruments are up forward and which ones are pushed back, and the crispness of certain instruments is where the difference between the light and the dark side are considered. The songs themselves are pretty much exactly the same. It's really more the mixing of the album than there is anything else that's going on there that's causing the difference between the light side or the bright side and the dark. So
Cool. Yeah, because I was sitting there and I was trying to listen and see like what the difference exactly were, and I was like, I don't notice anything different, but I still really like the album. Like I said, there was a lot of songs that were really reminiscent of other people I had listened to before, and I really liked that style of his. I don't know what to really call it other than kind of a techno-y vibe in a way, but it's like soft.
Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I actually saved a couple of the songs because I liked them.
Charlie, go ahead, man. Everybody, first of all, let me jump in here. Charlie is our resident I will hammer your album into the ground reviewer. So him giving a good rating on anything says something.
Yeah, I thought the recording on this was fantastic. I did catch the differences between the albums because as you listen to them as a whole, you could tell on the bright side you got like feelings of like Randy Newman, who does a lot of soundtrack stuff, because the songs that you younger folk are going to recognize are probably like Salisbury Hill and In Your Eyes, which are on soundtracks. And because those were like a big time, those were tracks that were like so mainstream, but excellent tracks. The Bright Side mix was definitely like done in a way that would fit more on a happier soundtrack, even though the songs are some of them are just really down. Randy Newman, David Gray, if you're familiar with any of his stuff, he's more current, but not really. He's more late 90s and early 2000s.
David Gray's really good. Yeah.
Still really good, but you can tell that these guys have had influence of Peter Gabriel. And this is the Bright Side mix does that. And then you could tell that the dark mix is a little bit more Trent Reznor, like heavier bass, a lot more digital keys and things like that to like add emphasis. Like the Court sounds a lot better on the dark side for that, because it's like really catches like the hollowness of it. And then when you're listening to like the lighter sound of the Playing for Time, it sounds very moody, light on the bright side, because it sounds like it belongs in, like it would be on Toy Story or something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can get all sorts of feelings through this set. I thought it was a good collection. I don't know if it's one I'd listen to a lot, but it's got a couple of tracks that I charm to. So well done.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I won't delve too much more into the bright side and the dark side and the differences there. I believe it's a fantastic album. The production quality is second to none, regardless of what version you're listening to. It's simply amazing, which honestly, you don't expect anything less from Peter Gabriel. He's just a pioneer in a lot of the things he did. The album, again, that I was talking about, called So, is literally, it's one of the best albums of all time. I mean, you go look at Rolling Stone and they'll tell you that in their top 100 albums. And that one has songs like Big Time and, some of these other songs that we talked about. Sledgehammer. Not only are they amazing songs, but they are very innovative videos as well. At that time, in 1986, 87, when those videos came out, they were innovative. Like, nobody had ever seen anything like that before in a music video. It was just kind of fascinating. But the overall reception of this album was really good. I mean, the Metacritic score is 87 out of 100. Almost all of the major news
He's going to get
outlets.
some awards for this one.
Yeah, it's
really
it's simply amazing. Pitchfork, Guardian, Independent, they all gave it 4 or 5 stars. Nothing is below 4. Well, that's not true. Maybe that's an exclamation point. I don't know. They gave it a 3-star, which they're dumb. Slant gave it 3 stars. They're obviously dumb too.
They're just it's a younger generational publication, so they're not going to rate this one high.
But but Tristan, you're talking about the fact some of it kind of sounds like David Bowie. Well, they're pretty much contemporaries. Peter Gabriel's a little younger than David Bowie, but they're both coming out of the England scene in the 70s. I mean, David Bowie's maybe more late 60s, but there's still that same kind of contemporary moving up in that music scene of Brit pop in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, very closely resemble the music. I would say you're talking about him being kind of like synthy and whatnot. Yeah, there's definitely synthy. I would probably say Peter Gabriel's more of a maybe funk would maybe be a better way to describe in some of the ways he does it. He's still British. Bottom line is his music is British. Period.
I'm so bad at describing music that I don't know what words to use.
Fine. But he definitely has a lot of synthesizers. You're not wrong there. There's a lot of electronic slants to all of his music, but he also has a lot of funkiness, the bass. We talked about the bass. He likes saxophone a lot in his music. He likes these kind of styles.
He really likes a lot of foreign percussion. He likes a lot of African and
big time
samba percussion. So
absolutely. He's really big into, percussion is one of his biggest things. Absolutely. He's really big into that.
I really liked a lot of his vocals and like the I don't know if it's auto-tuning, but auto-tune tweaking that he does to some of his vocals in his songs. I think it's the chords. I might be wrong, but I think in the chord it has a really cool effect on the chorus line, and I just absolutely love it. For some reason, it just like tickles that part of my brain for some reason.
Well, that's good. I'm glad as some old snobby person I've introduced you to somebody that you like. That's great. My favorite songs, speaking personally, I like Panopticon. Either version on either side is great. The Road to Joy is probably, in my opinion, the best song on the album. I think it's fantastic. I love that da 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 da. That just it's such a cool sound, and he's using a lot of flangey, a Moog synthesizer kind of a sound going on there. I don't know if you guys know what a Moog synthesizer is. I'm sorry, now I'm really going music geeky on y'all. I mean, it's a really, really good album, and I think it's been worth the wait for decades trying to get this album out. So. Let's go ahead and give our rating. Let's see if we can make this a Simpleton certified. I'm not putting any pressure on y'all, but maybe we can make it. No, you guys give it whatever score you want, but albums on this podcast, they don't get certified very often. So let's go ahead and start with you, Trista. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give it a solid 4. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I saved The Court and 4 Kinds of Horses onto my other playlist because they pretty much fit in with the rest of my music and my weird mishmash of stuff. I really liked it. I would definitely listen to it again. I don't get the double disc thing. I didn't notice the difference in that, but that just might be me. I'm just not as musically inclined as some people who might notice it way more abruptly than I did, but I really enjoy it. If you like this style of music, I've said it before, this will be something you'll like in this style.
Great. 4. Lemuel.
I'm going to give it a 2.
Ooh.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I have to give it a 4. Giving it a 2 would be a disservice. Even if you don't like this kind of music, I feel like you could turn it on and be like, I understand what is happening. I just think that's the way it is. Like, you can listen to this album, and if you just only listen to like metal or dubstep or whatever, you could probably listen to this and be like, realize that the talent's there, that the production's there, that this guy is clearly a genius. I'm going to give it a 4. Because I think I will probably sit down and listen to it again.
Fantastic. All right, Mr. Gibson.
4 as well. I actually thought this was really good, and I like that he took the time to introduce 2. Most people probably won't catch the vibe on both, but he's taken the song and he's actually giving it multiple meanings with the 2 different sounds that he did. And I thought that was genius. I mean, there's only a few other artists that have taken the time to do that. And to kind of like slant meaning by like just small nuances of sound. Peter Gabriel has always been a star and will remain that way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how old Peter Gabriel is. Let me look up that Wikipedia. He's got to be in his 70s, right? I mean, the dude is ancient. Sorry, Peter, Mr. Gabriel, if you're listening to this.
My feeling is that he's probably older than that.
Really?
His solo work started in 1975.
No, he was born in 1950, so he is 74 years old. So
okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's up there for sure. But If you guys have never had the chance, you have to go listen to In Your Eyes, which is an amazing song. And then Salisbury Hill, of course, and Sledgehammer, and
Rock the Monkey.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, they're just amazing songs. They're really good. And this album...
Biko. Listen to Biko as well. That one's an amazing song about Stephen Biko.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's good.
Yeah, Peter, I think Lemuel's correct. He's a genius. He's brilliant. Peter Gabriel he's in a league all of his own. There's very few people that are in that league. And this album, again, I may not have totally got the differences between the two versions. I did know enough to understand that there was definitely a different mix, and there was definitely sonically there was differences. Percussion was pushed up on certain songs and whatever. So I did recognize that. Was it worth it? Maybe. I don't know. But I will give this album a 4 all the way, every day. It is amazing. The songs are just incredible. He's just brilliant. I don't know what else to say. I mean, he's just all the songs are so good. I mean, there's a couple songs I'm like, I pass over that or whatever, but I'll give it a listen every day. Mm-hmm. I think maybe one thing that I would say that I wouldn't do too much is listen to this album all the way through from start to finish very much. But individual songs, I would listen to them in a mix any day of the week, and they'd probably be turned up to 10.
And they'd probably not get skipped ever.
No.
Yeah.
No, never.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just brilliant. There's no other way to say it. So, a 4, and a 4. Is that one of our highest rated records ever?
It's like the most straightforward rate.
I think Fiona Apple might have beat it.
That's true. We were really high on Fiona Apple.
We really liked the Gorillaz album a long time ago, too.
We did. We'll have to go back and look and see which one has our best rating ever. But Peter Gabriel, you are up there in easily the top 5, maybe the top 3. We'll have to go check and look. Good job, Peter Gabriel. I know it means a lot to you that you have been officially Simpleton certified. And so this is something you put on your mantle, tweet it out to all of your followers on X, put it on Facebook. When you accept your awards at the Grammys, you can say, I would like to thank Nate and Charlie and Lem and Trista Simpleton for their amazing review of my record. I would truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. For those of you who think I'm kidding, I'm not. But let us know what you think about the album in the comments below. We'd love to know what you think about Peter Gabriel in general and this album in particular. Please like and subscribe. Tell everybody about our amazing podcast/video thingy we got here. We'd love to touch base with you, so reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. You can find us on a bunch of different platforms. We don't have a website anymore because I canceled it because nobody ever went to it and it was expensive.
Aww.
So but you can find us on X or whatever you call it these days. We still have a Facebook page, so reach out to us. We'd love to see you and talk to you and do all that kind of stuff. What, that?
We do have a TikTok.
Ooh.
Oh, we have a TikTok, but I haven't done anything with it for a long time. Lemuel could take it over. That'd be fine.
Listen. I thought that was
All right,
Tristan's.
thanks so much for joining us here at the Simpleton Review. We'll talk to you later. Have a great week. Bye-bye.